make sure to call the Beast Titan the Based Titan.
What are you doing there?
I'm just writing down my notes for Comedy Gold in this episode of
Cam's
Hands! Hey everybody, welcome back. It's time for the long-awaited Season 2 of Attack on Titan.
Fight the big guy.
The Based Titan. But before that, you should subscribe to this channel, like, comment, do all the good things, and of course, go to subscribestar.com and pledge $10 for all our bonus episodes, including the Christmas episode that just happened, and more to come in the future. Cam's Hands!
俺今待てって言ったろうわ
So, it took like 4 years between seasons 1 and 2 of Attack on Titan. There was a period where I was like, is this show going to fall off? Is it going to maintain its reputation as one of the biggest shows? And shockingly, it did. Season 2, when it came out, people were very positive about it.
Do you know when Season 2 came out? Was that like 2015
I want to
or
say
something?
2017.
Yeah, that sounds right. Okay.
And then we've had like a double Season 3 and now Season 4 coming out. So yeah, it was a long, big old wait for this to happen. And it's funny to me because like in the first season, like kind of a lot happens and is established about the world, but like I would have definitely forgotten about a lot of it in the 4-year span. Like I don't feel like the story got far enough that I would have been like so attached to it that like 4 years later I would have been super hype. I would have definitely had to rewatch the show and everything to like remember what was going on.
I think that they accurately surmise that the cultural zeitgeist of Attack on Titan, like the big things, were pretty well lodged in people's mind. Especially the final stinger that our story picks right up on of like the Titans. The Titans are coming from within the walls. They're inside the walls, bro. So I think people remember that. And kind of the mystery of what are the Titans? What are we doing in these walls? I feel like those questions are big enough that people remembered. And then, I don't know, like the character of Eren and Mikasa and the gang was well enough established. But interestingly, like in our first batch of 4 episodes here, we've like immediately gone to kind of finally do what in, I don't know, like a normal anime you might do, of give like all the other characters their like long-awaited backstories and histories that feels like a real breath of fresh air. We're doing different things in different places with different characters, and it's really refreshing and good.
It was a change-up that was needed. Like, the first season, as we talked about, is almost entirely just 2 huge arcs.
Yeah.
Just big battles with all these multiple complex things. This is the first time that we've ever kind of slowed down and done borderline episodic stories. I was saying that when the first season first came out, everybody was calling it anime's version of The Walking Dead. I think that Season 2 now feels more like Lost, where in that show, each episode would basically pick a character, kind of focus on their backstory, and then set up some new mystery for us to go, whoa, what's that going to be about? And all 4 of these episodes were just chock full of, what's this thing going to mean? Who's that guy? Oh no, secrets, mysteries. And it's surprising how entertaining it managed to be while doing that because, like you said, finally started giving characterization to some of these side people like Sasha or Connie who have been around and really not done anything this whole time, and now they're like people. So.
And even in doing that, well, there, you know, we got like Eren's backstory, which we both loved and thought like, holy shit, this psychopath murderer, pretty sick backstory and stuff. You know, Armin didn't really get much, but the fact that we are now condensing those stories down, it feels like, into a shorter runtime, it feels like we're getting more meat for our time. And, I mean, I don't know if this is just me, I feel like the animation, like, there's more kind of ugly CG scenes at times, but what there is a lot of in Attack on Titan is just characters standing there and talking to each other. Those scenes that were fairly shitty-ish looking originally, I feel like those are better now, and there's a lot of them, so I don't know.
There's certain things that feel different. Everything feels more panned out. The first season had this almost claustrophobic feeling where, like, when they do close-ups on characters, it was always right in on their face, and, like, now you get like a little bit more sky in the background, or like show a few more characters on screen, or change the camera angle more often. It just feels like more is happening on every level, visual, plot-wise.
I know that
moving
there
faster.
are deep lore scholars of like the tumultuous development of season 1 of Attack on Titan, and people probably know the answers to these questions. But as people just coming into it, like it makes me wonder because it took like 4 years for season 2 to happen. I assume the director and the studio are the same. I'm pretty sure they were all the way through until season 4, of course, when that's changed now. But it feels like they've been given more time to make the show better. And I appreciate that.
I have to assume that's why they spent 4 years to get this done, because like a lot of shows like this, if they had tried to rush right into season 2, then it's like it would have had the same problem season 1 did.
Yeah.
And the creative team who made this show, in that meantime interim, went and made Cabaneri of the Iron Fortress, an original IP with many of the same ideas as Attack on Titan. So, I think that there was a lot of the studio maybe trying to put itself into a position that it could do better on Attack on Titan season 2, before that had to happen.
And I was also surprised to see that season 2 only has 12 episodes, and we're getting to the point where, like, as far as I had read, I haven't seen any of this actual, this part of the anime adaptation yet. But it just seems like surprising that they would condense a story that we know is so much longer. And like season 3 is in like 2 pieces that are each 10 episodes. Season 4 is going to be like at least 16 or something. So I don't know. Maybe they were able to like chop up a healthy piece that they felt like was the right amount to adapt, like the Maiden Abyss arcs or just anything else that's chopped up in like a healthy way. Whereas maybe season 1, like we said, was like planned out to be 25 episodes, and then they kind of needed to stretch things here and there a little bit. I don't know.
Well, to go through the events of these 4 episodes, the first one was mostly focused on introducing and unceremoniously offing a new character who we are told is like the second most badass Survey Corps member after Levi.
Do you remember meeting Mike before, or Mike? Do you remember?
In the first season?
Yeah.
What context was he there?
Oh my God, you don't remember our boy Mike?
No.
Mike was the weirdo who smelled Eren. Remember somebody smelled Eren and thought it was really weird? That was, I'm going to call him Mike. I don't care if his name's Mike, I'm calling him Mike.
Was he smelling the Titan on Eren, you think?
Well, he seemed to like approve after smelling, so I would think if he smelled Titan, though they already knew that he was a Titan by that point, so I guess there was no secrets to hide.
True.
In any case, yeah, episode 1 episode 26 of the show now, season 2, is Mike getting his little moment to shine and he's built up as the second strongest man in the Survey Corps, only behind Captain Levi.
Yeah. He's a jobber, in other words, because he is established to be powerful so that we can establish how powerful this guy is when he makes quick work of Mike.
So the based Titan here is very different from the Titans we've seen so far. I mean, he looks like a big gorilla man. And he appears, actually, he's the first Titan we see speak. He can speak as a Titan, so that's a big change.
Speaks fluently, is a gorilla, attacks horses.
Right.
Commands Titans.
Right.
He seems to be like a general almost. So like, and we are pointed out in later episodes that the Titans are acting more tactically right before we see him like leading a bunch of them. So yeah, he is the new brain to be worried about on the Titan side.
Indeed. And I remember when I stopped reading the manga, the biggest question in my mind is, who the fuck is the Beast Titan? What's going on with this dude? I might have some more information now, but I won't comment. So, I mean, beyond that, let's see what happens in the next episode. That pretty much sums it up. Beast Titan shows up, does cool stuff. Next episode...
Well, there was also the part where Titan Maniac girl, what's her name?
Oh, Hanji.
She is threatening the priest, the people who worship the walls, and she's like, we know there's a fucking Titan in the wall, what's the deal with it? And he's like, I won't tell you anything. She holds him off a building and is like, I will kill you. And he's like, do it. I literally will die to protect this secret. So
Up until that point, that character looks like one of those asshole joke characters, but when you see someone willing to die for their cause, it immediately gives the character gravitas. After that moment, I was like, I'm going to remember your name, Minister Nick. You are like kind of a cool character for being so committed to this. Yeah. And he's been hanging around with Levi, and they've got some plans they're doing.
It's fun to watch Levi bully him and everything.
It sure is. But the man's committed.
生まれ変わることができたなら今度は自分のために生きたいと
Next episode, we've basically got so the Beast Titan's appearance makes everyone panic because they think, oh my God, more beasts have shown up. We're inside, I think, like the second wall. The first one's broken still. They're inside Wall Rose right now, or Maria. I think it's Wall Rose. I don't know. And the fact there are Titans here means, oh my fucking god, there must be a hole in the wall. More Titans have fallen. Humanity is fucked. It's all done for us. If there's another hole, we can't stop the Titans anymore. What can you do?
I assumed it was just the hole that had been made 5 years ago that they're talking about. Is that not the hole they're looking for?
No, that was from the outermost wall. What they're talking about is, oh no, there's a hole in the second wall.
But it's a new hole, not the previous one Aaron had.
They're deducing that a hole must exist because we're seeing Titans.
Okay.
As we find out, that logic is slightly flawed, but
because
we'll
they haven't been able to find the hole yet.
Right,
okay.
right. But so the fact that they go out on a mission, everyone fans out to inspect the wall, to find the hole, basically. And this is where we get little side missions with a bunch of our characters.
Yes.
So the first one of which being Sasha. And this is where Sasha goes from just a total joke character. Even in like episode 1, we were just laughing at how funny Sasha and Connie were being. Just this is the thing I love about Sasha as a character. She's a very, I don't know how to describe it. She's the opposite of feminine in that she's not like Krista is a good foil to her. Krista is always like cute and like adorable and always really sweet. Sasha is like a kind of vain, a greedy, like a glutton, kind of an asshole, and doesn't act cute at all. She'll just like hang there with her mouth open, drooling on the table, as she does multiple times
she
here.
Just zones like. Well, what we've learned about her is that like all she did was hunt. Like her and her dad lived in the woods and grew up hunting.
Yeah.
She like speaks in like a heavy foresty accent and it's like only really used to interacting with animals and not people. And like it's fascinating that her dad like lays it out for her at one point. Like, look, you are afraid of people. You have problems. You need to like we can't survive in this forest forever because the Titans are encroaching on human land, and so humans have to tear down more forests to make more fields, to build more villages, to have places to live. They're coming to our forest. We're already running out of food anyways because of the fact that, people are coming through here to eat more and stuff. So basically he's like, look, we can't live here anymore. We have to integrate into society, and so you're going to have to do that. And I thought that was a really interesting scene because it's like, there's lots of people who have had to deal with like, there's almost like a conservatism element to it of her like trying to protect the lifestyle that she's had and being told and so there's something in the dialogue that she says is like, why should we have to change to be able to fit in with other people? And he's just like, it's inevitable. Like at some point people like us who live on the fringes are going to be forced to join society as society keeps changing, so you're just going to have to learn to deal with it is kind of what he says to her. And we see how she's not really getting better at communicating with people, but she's become a good person at least.
Well, she gets her big dramatic. Okay, we get like this annoying ass flashback with Ymir lecturing Sasha at camp, like, "Hey, you should speak the way you normally speak. You're all too polite. It's weird. We're your contemporaries. Speak like the retarded ass lingo that you speak with your lowly people, your fucking troglodyte tribe, Sasha." And Sasha's like, "Go minasai, sumimasen, dekimasen." She can't do it. But in her big, I mean, this is a great scene where Sasha. In investigating the Titans and seeing what's going on, she gets back to her village. Like there is a Titan there. The village is emptied, like devouring an old woman who can't run away. She saves a little girl, and one-on-one with a bow in her traditional style, kills, or rather blinds the Titan. She doesn't kill it so that she can get away. And she gets her big like slang thing she says, like, oh, character development moment. She's embracing the slang and her training as like a soldier. It's the combining of two worlds. What a beautiful moment.
I thought that like tonally, the whole scene with her going into that house was one of the more interesting ones because it was creepy.
What was interesting was how fucking big the size difference of that Titan was as it went from one scene to another. That Titan went from literally slightly bigger than a human to, I don't know, like 4 or 5 meters high or something. Yeah. That was probably the worst piece of animation in the entire show so far, the size of that Titan. Anyway, I understand what they're doing with it, so it's okay.
Piece of animation that is the size of the Titan at various points
that
in the
bit
episode.
of information throughout the series was so inconsistent, but okay.
The scene where she goes into the house, like, it's creepy as fuck, because aside from the fact that we've never seen a Titan that small, although it maybe isn't, whatever, it's like munching on an old lady, and there's a kid just like catatonically staring.
Dead silence, yeah.
And the lady's not screaming or saying anything either, which is also creepy and weird.
Yeah.
And she just kind of watches as like Sasha comes in, like tepid, like well first she tries to kill the thing with an axe, and she's just like hitting it in the neck, and it keeps regenerating, and she's like, fuck, I can't kill it. But it doesn't seem to be stopping what it's doing. So she just goes over, grabs the kid, and leaves, basically. And as they're leaving, I thought it was interesting. The kid says, like, oh, my mom already had bad legs or something, and she was getting like, made fun of. So it's like, that's why she wasn't screaming. She can't feel her legs.
Well, that's probably true, but that line was like, everyone else ran away, and they knew they couldn't help my mom because her legs didn't work. Everyone just abandoned her, and the little girl was like so freaked out, like, is no one gonna help my mom, that she just couldn't run herself.
I just like that the scene was so eerie, and like, I was literally wondering, like, why is she reacting that way? It seems unnatural, but it also seems purposeful. And so to have that filled in later, it's like, oh, okay, it makes sense. But it was still like a really hauntingly weird scene to actually experience, you know?
It sure
like
was.
That.
It sure was. I really liked that whole sequence in Sasha's village. Was really good. And I said, like, this is like the most cathartic, perfect, like one little character story so far.
It's the only happy thing that's ever happened is like she actually saves the kid. Her dad is still alive.
Oh yeah, she meets her dad at the
end.
He
says,
I'm proud of you, Sasha. You made me proud. Can we just end the series right here?
Well, they couldn't even end the episode right there. They had to make sure we knew that Connie was not in the same situation, as his entire village has been seemingly destroyed or abandoned and destroyed, because they can't find any corpses except for one of a Titan that happens to kind of sound like Connie's mom, maybe?
What could be the implications here? I don't know.
But Mr. I'm suspicious you're the armored Titan tells Connie, like, hey man, you're fucking dumb. Don't think that's your mom.
Don't think about stuff,
man. Don't think about Titans.
Stop.
Get the fuck out of here. Extra suspicious. And then so then we start getting, and forgive me for jumbling this up, but like, I know that Liz, right? She's the one who turns. Is that her name? The other Titan girl.
Ymir. Think of Ymir.
Yeah. Ymir. We get these hints that, like, she and Armored Guy are both trying to keep him from suspecting that his mom could have turned into a Titan.
Indeed.
And of course, by the end of episode 4, she turns into a Titan, so pretty, confirmed. I'd say this pretty much confirms the other guy's Titanhood as well. If you haven't been thinking that already, it's kind of like, okay, well, these dialogues have no other reason to exist. But
they're very suspicious on purpose. yeah.
But I liked the way that came about. That like just their shared trying to keep this other guy from thinking about something caused them to reveal a secret to one another.
I like the way that was handled, and I also like. Well, first of all, so they get to this scene because two camps of our characters are out inspecting the wall, looking for this hole that we've deduced exists. The hole doesn't exist, or they can't find it or anything. So they're like, "What's going on?" So they take refuge in this castle, and this is where these plot elements are happening. And the other thing is when Reiner, like suspecting something's up with Ymir as well, goes to talk to her. Ymir grabs a can of food, and also another character had grabbed a bottle of like alcohol and said, "I can't read this label." Ymir, with her canned herring, says, "Oh look, a can of herring. I'm reading the label." What's his fucking name? Reiner says, "I can't read these letters. What does that imply?" So weird things are happening here.
Which he might be lying about.
He might be lying. That's definitely true. But that lie would only work if those letters definitely weren't the normal language either way. So definitely either one or both of them can read that language, and that implies something strange, because presumably there's one spoken language. And they said that someone had been here recently too. They said like it looked like bandits had been in this village not long ago. Could this imply some sort of tribe that like travels in and out the walls or something? There's like other civilizations. I mean, because they specifically said these are new things that were here recently.
Yeah.
Could mean all kinds of stuff. But then the Titans attack, and that conversation is put aside for a while.
Bunch of big dramatic Titan fighting.
Yep.
People getting torn up.
Amazingly, our
gobbled up.
or barely named, barely visible characters, they're all dying. They're all getting consumed, as you'd expect. Oh, and there's another element going on here at the same time of it's at this point we kind of cut away to Aaron's group with Levi and the priest. When the priest, they know the priest knows things. They're like, please, for the love of God, tell us what you know. And I commented, I love the plot detail that he says, me and all my followers would definitely never give you any information under torture, so don't bother torturing me or any of the many other members of my church out there. So, okay, plot, understood, we're moving on from that possibility. And he says, hey, there's a secret important person who can tell you secret important information. It's Krista. It's the blonde, cute, feminine little girl we were talking about before.
Who knows why?
We don't know why. We have no information as to why yet. But while the Beast Titan is launching the new campaign
Where's John?
Where is Jean?
Where's Armin, in fact? I guess
Jean's-
Armin's with the group, but
Armin is with those
he just
guys.
hasn't really said much yet.
You know, surprisingly, Jean, I think, is like the one guy we haven't seen like at all. Maybe he is doing something. I have no idea.
It's amazing how many characters are actually in this show, because you can really
Yeah.
lose track of some of these motherfuckers if you're not paying attention.
It's true, but I mean, so we basically have left it. Man, a lot happened in these 4 episodes. Beast Titan is currently trying to kill them at this location.
Yes.
They've found out secrets of the wall. They got to get to Krista. And by the way, Krista is currently one of the people under attack by the Beast Titan. So let's hope he doesn't murder her and all her friends. That would set the plot back a bit. And that's pretty much where we leave things.
I feel like there was another abnormal that appeared that I'm forgetting about.
Well, there's Ymir, who turns into a Titan at the very end.
That as well. And something from this base Titan's dialogue, he says something to the guy where he's like, oh, you know we're in the neck.
Oh,
And
yeah.
That got me thinking, like, what if all the Titans are people? Like, if they're sort of like, sometimes you have that rule, like with vampires, where it's like most of them turn into ghouls, but sometimes you get a vampire. You
They're
know,
like a virgin when they
right.
get turned or something, yeah.
Different lore in different series, but that's the Hellsing lore.
Right,
for sure.
right, yeah.
But yeah, like, maybe it's something like that. Maybe special people, certain genetics or something. It might be family based.
Oh, if you're an Aryan German god, then obviously you're not going to turn to one of these Mongoloids. You're going to be a colossal Chad.
Well, yeah. Did anything else in your notes that we forgot?
No, that pretty much covers it. We touched on everything. I just want to summarize and say season 2 is off to a roaring start. Like the appearance of the Beast Titan added a very much needed element of like an enemy who can talk, who is like, where we can see, like, when the female Titan, we know that it's Annie now, but Annie got turned into a crystal before we could get one fucking piece of information at all out of her. And, you know, like, while they were fighting, we didn't know who she was, and then once we knew who she was, she couldn't talk anymore. The Beast Titan is, at least right now, around and doing things, and I want more of this to happen in us to learn things.
You know, another important thing about this Beast Titan is he does not know about the humans' technology yet.
Right,
He just finds out about it from the guy from Mike after killing him. Mike, whatever.
That's another great indicator that there certainly seem to be some separate cultures, at least one that the Beast Guy's from.
I mean, the most important thing about that is it means he's not on the team of the government. Because like
right.
everything else we've been suspicious of government people, this guy, he doesn't even know about human technology. Where the hell did he come from?
That's a great point. That's a great point. So, I mean, like you were saying, more mysteries are being sown. Where does it all mean? When is it all going to come together? We'll just have to watch the next batch
when
of
are we
episodes.
getting in that fucking basement? You think that'll be this season? Probably not.
I don't think it'll be. I don't know for sure, but I bet it's season 3. Like, I bet that's the end of part 1 of season 3. That's my guess. But we'll just have to watch and keep finding out answers.
And keep spilling Cantant into your eyeballs every week. We were gonna condense the Attack on Titan coverage more, but like there was so much in these 4 episodes.
No need. I think this is good. I'm happy to split this one into 3 episodes, and then season 3 we'll divvy it up another healthy way.
Let us know what you think is the best way.
Yeah. That's it, everybody. We'll see you next time. Don't forget to go over to our Subscribe Star, support the show. For the love of Christ, we're working hard, bringing you the content you crave, and get all those sweet, juicy bonus episodes. Have a flashback to Christmas time. Forget your depression for a day, and watch Gundam 00 and enjoy a big, juicy boiga with the fam, with us. Including Victor right there, you piece of shit.
Yeah, that's right. He's in the bonus episode.
Oh yeah, that's right. But no more, because he sucks.
You gotta pay for gotta pay to get that Vic action.
All right, and that's it, everybody. Hey, go to our Discord, join and talk with everybody about the shows we're talking about. Go to our Twitter, follow us there for any updates and highlights that I tweet out of there every once in a while. And of course, send us those crucial content clips.
Yes.
We're running dry, and they are fucking great. All the ones like that guy in the truck with the Rin camp, Camp one, and the what's that dude who's on the big mountain? I don't know. He's Crass Cross, whatever his name is. That guy was cool. Send us stuff like that. Twitter, Discord, you know the drill. And we will see you next time, everybody. Bye! Can't